My race is half Jamaican and half Norwegian.
I am Asian Indian.
And I'm China.
I'm Caucasian.
I am Chinese.
Native American.
And I'm Hmong.
And I'm white.
And I'm Asian.
Racism, I think, is a really touchy subject, and I think it's hard to pinpoint. I think it's inaccurately pinpointed a lot. A lot of people claim things are racist where I don't think that they are, and sometimes I think racism goes unnoticed.
I think it's kind of rude, and like people should not like make fun of any race.
Since I'm white, I feel like I can't completely empathize with people who experience racism because as a white person, I myself will never, but I will never completely understand what it's like to be put down for being a person of another race in a society where one is dominant because I'm born at the height of privilege. Even if racism and negative effects of race will never personally have to do with me, I'm very concerned on it from the topic of social justice. It's abhorrent to me that this is just another excuse to put down people who the majority deems lesser because of irrelevant and superficial features, and it's baffling to me how it's still an issue in 2013.
I feel like racism goes both ways. A lot of times, white people get the blame for it, but you know, a lot of black people can be just as racist. I'm not saying one's worse than the other, but they're both capable.
I've heard racial jokes. I don't know. I mean, I think for the sake of comedy, I think racial jokes are funny, but I think that racial jokes can be hurtful.
They can't understand themselves how the joke might make someone feel. And if they retort with, "You're being too sensitive," who are they to dictate the threshold that what's too sensitive and what's actually harmful? They can't be harmed by the jokes, so how can they be so arrogant to decide for people when it's okay to be offended and when it's not by the things they say?
I never heard of that, but I think like we also like have many jokes to play, but like should not play about race.
Yeah, racial jokes. I mean, friends feel like they can talk about them with each other and they think it's cool, but they really are hurtful, and with every joke comes meaning. So racist jokes are really something that shouldn't be continued.
I'm pretty sure from my memory that I probably thought of it more that, oh, that's wrong, instead of actually confronting it.
I've just thought it.
Sometimes I did it and sometimes I think it.
I've never been a very confrontational person, and I'm extremely upset with myself that I'm so cowardly as I can't engage my classmates in a debate on their hurtful rhetoric when I hear it. I've been getting better recently, and I hope everyone listening to this that agrees with me can find that courage too.
Several times I've stated it, but I feel like people don't really care if it's racist. They'll just go on a joke. They don't really acknowledge that you're saying that it's wrong, so.
I'm pretty much just about it.
I've just thought it and never stated that. I never told someone off for telling a racial joke.
Okay.
Well, it depends on the location. Because around here, not really. I don't really hear it as much, but
I feel like they've stayed the same / kind of escalated a little bit because people think they're being funny and they're really not, I guess.
technically I think it just stayed the same. It just changed form.
For me personally, racial jokes have gotten worse.
It depends. I hate the people are just a product of their time excuse because everyone has the opportunity to be sympathetic to people's struggles. those that make them but claim they aren't racist may just limit themselves to jokes because their other statements which they might want to say have become socially unacceptable to say.
They probably would, because it's just how they grew up, their own society and culture. But now this generation is probably changing and everything's going to change in the future.
Yes, because I feel like they're more used to having it around them, like the racism stuff, since they're older. And nowadays it's not as prominent as before, so. Not really. I don't think so. Because it's more young, naive people that do it. Well, at least from what I've heard.
I think, yes, in a way, they are a form of discrimination. I think a lot of racial jokes use certain stereotypes in them that they make fun of. So I think, in a way, they can discriminate against races and place them lower than others.
Like, you're saying something mean about someone, even if, like, you might think it's funny because it's like a stereotype or something, and it might not actually hitting upon something like true about someone.
No, I agree with that. Because, when they say racial things that they talk about someone else that is personal to them.
Oh. Yeah, I think just kind of separate people, like make fun of people in tone, and yeah. So like, if the white people like always make fun of the Asian or the black people, like, so like they would be like separate, and yeah, like just them like the same race.
Definitely.
Not really, no. I don't think they're any better. Oh, no, they're not any better. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, because like some of their culture, like from the truth. Okay. And yeah, it's okay.
Can't assume that everyone does this.
And I don't think that's right. Because people should be proud of what they are. I am proud of who I am. So yeah.
Well, like I said, I'm born at the height of privilege. I can't be put down for my race because white people are at the top of the chain in our society.
Depends on how a person would deal with it. Some people don't care about what others say, yet some make a big deal out of it and feel guilty about it. When I tell people that I'm from the Middle East, a lot of them would immediately think of terrorism. Some might even say that I'm a terrorist. Explain to them that they shouldn't believe anything that the media puts, and there's always a different point of view to every story.
It depends in some situations, yeah. No. I don't really feel guilty being wrong, no.
Somehow, yeah. Because, some people are being put down by their racial. Because, I don't know, I just saw that, black and white, and even Asian, when people started to talk about them, like making fun of them, yeah, they are being put down, but the people that are being put down, it's not really feel about that, but, I don't know, I just thought about that.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think people, like everyone is proud of themselves, and yeah, like proud of their, like whatever races. Yeah, I'm proud to be Asian.
Actually, I really do. I had a personal experience where we were in a predominantly black classroom, and my white friend walked in and they slandered him with vulgar language, and it was purely because he was white. So yeah, for me, I think it's different because I can connect with both sides, and I don't really get the, I don't know, attack from other people, but I do see it a lot.
Yes, sometimes.
everybody judges because of skin color, and even when people act like they don't, everyone does.
Yeah.
Say that don't judge people by your color, but that's really like when I was I saw the first time I saw black people, I saw like, okay, they're different.
They're gonna make those assumptions because they are this color or that.
Yes.
I don't think people judge by their skin color. Yeah, like you should go and talk, right? Like not just like walk by and judge people like that. Or like the skin color.
I'd like to think so. I think for me it's like a first instinct judgment, and I'll admit that there's stereotypes of certain races that I have in my mind, and even though I know they're wrong, I still have them. And I wish it wasn't that way, but whenever I see someone of a different race, I mean, you think those stereotypes, and then really that's your first instinct, but then I think you have to reason with yourself within your mind to come to a good conclusion that you're wrong, and I think that can be controlled.
Unless everybody like stops judging period, then no.
I think it's natural for people to instantly judge people, but I think it's not natural to, hurt them or try to, verbally attack them or any other form, because if you think something, that's fine. You probably shouldn't think it, but if you don't act on it and you're still nice to the person, that's controllable.
Learn, definitely. Everything's based on learning, and if you see someone judging someone because of their skin color, you're automatically just going to pick that up.
I think it's learned because there's some people that might start off very judgmental, and then over time they might be put in a different environment and accept someone else, or else they go through an experience and they really don't like how a person's acting, and then subconsciously their mind is going to associate that race with being negative, positive.
Could be learned, and it depends what kind of background your family comes from too.
Learned. It's a baby cannot come into this world and think they are better or insignificant compared to people. They definitely learn it from their peers and their parents, especially.
We can't stop this hurtful cycle of racist and racist jokes if we don't educate people on why they're harmful.
Yeah, in Thailand, most people look like Chinese, and yeah, like about half and half, like Thai Chinese.
Okay.
Yeah, so like, yeah, but we do have some foreigners, like half Caucasian. Yeah.
Yes, many times, but I just get over it.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. And most of the time, it's just like people don't really know how to act around me too, or they just don't know what I can do. So pretty much, as a matter of fact, it's not knowing. So, but I think it's considered discrimination. There's been hurtful times, but yeah, pretty much. I just get through them.
I just can't believe how this is still a thing, but it is. And it's just beyond me how people can say that we live in a post-racial society, because we really don't.